Meet the 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross, Toyota's new SUV. Not that it bears much resemblance to the Corolla sedan from the outside. Were we in charge of naming vehicles, we would have called it the Highlandette, but there's plenty of Corolla under the skin and behind the doors. That doesn't matter, though. Toyota's intention is to invoke the familiarity of a name that, for millions, is synonymous with dependable transportation. This SUV slots between the entry-level CHR and the ever-expanding RAV4. It rides on the same TNGA-C, Toyota New Generation Architecture compact platform as the Corolla, with the same McPherson strut front suspension. Front-drive crosses get the Corolla's rear beam axle, and all-wheel drivers get a multi-link. Power comes from the 169 horsepower 2.0-liter engine, the same one used in nicer versions of the sedan. A hybrid powertrain joins the lineup next year. The SUV's cabin is lifted almost directly from the Corolla, generally a good thing. The first of several versions we sampled was an entry-level L model, and we were impressed by the quality of materials and switchgear, particularly the two-tone soft-touch padded dashboard. Save for the key start ignition and the slightly smaller infotainment screen, we would have hardly guessed this was the entry-level car, particularly given standard features like adaptive cruise control and an Apple, Android-compatible stereo. XLEs get an all-digital instrument panel that looks good, but there's nothing wrong with the analog gauges found in LE and XLE models. The three trims each have different climate control systems, manual for the L, automatic for the LE, and dual zone for the XLE. Second row accommodations are less impressive. The back seat itself is generous and supportive, and there's plenty of footroom under the front seats, but the legroom are tight and largely disappears if the front seats are adjusted rearward. The cabin trim isn't as nice as it is in the front, but rear seaters do get AC vents and, in all but the base model, USB-A/C power ports. A naturally aspirated engine combined with Toyota's unusual CVT, which uses an actual first gear at low speeds before the continuously variable bits take over, makes for a smart move off from stoplights, and acceleration remains adequate. If not exactly quick, up to highway speeds. It's a noisy engine that protests loudly if you demand a lot of power, the good news being there's plenty of road and wind noise to drown out the engine's howl. As with the Corolla, the chassis stays relatively flat in corners and grips well, making the SUV stable and predictable in an emergency swerve. But it's not much fun, thanks largely to the steering. We know Toyota can make reasonably fun cars, and a little work on the tiller might make it more satisfying to enthusiasts. The Corolla Cross starts at $23,410 for the front-drive L model, $25,760 for the LE, and $27,540 for the XLE. All-wheel drive will be available on all models for an extra $1,300, and there will be a few optional packages for LE and XLE models. All models come with a comprehensive safety suite, including adaptive cruise control, collision avoidance with automatic braking, automatic high beams, and lane departure warning. LE models get blind spot warning, and XLEs get automatic rear braking. A lot of Corolla Cross competitors put safety equipment on the option list to keep base prices down. We commend Toyota for making all this stuff standard. The SUV is certainly worthy of the Corolla name, even if it doesn't look like a Corolla.